I think this video is important because men always find themselves in unfavorable situations with women, which can be avoided if they know what red flags to look out for. Unfortunately, so many men have become emasculated in today's world to the point where we are willing to accept anything from the divine feminine, even if it means accepting supper treatment and taking the worst of the worst that XXs have to offer. And look, I get it. Many of us were not raised by a father, so we don't know what it means to be masculine, while some of our fathers were weak and jelly-back, so we watched our mothers run the home and family into chaos. Then we have a society that beats down men just for having a salami between their legs while encouraging them to be feminine and props up women to take on leadership roles and be masculine. So there's no surprise that men have a hard time learning to be masculine men when there's no one there to teach us in a home and society has a war on masculinity. It's a sad time to be a man, I'll tell you that. With that said, let's dive into the first red flag that all men must be aware of, and that's a pregnant woman. I don't know what the hell happened, but back in my day, I did not see pregnant women trying to date and get a man to help take care of her and her unborn child. It just wasn't a thing out there in the open, but now in today's clown world, you can go on a dating app, and there will be a woman on there that's early to late in her pregnancy, and she's looking for a man to date or become a step dummy. What am I to even say to a situation like this, gents? This is what happens when we let women choose partners and become sexually liberated. We get careless women in these streets and pregnant women looking for a step dummy instead of being married and having a support system. It's an effed up thing, but I have to warn you guys not to date these types of women under any circumstances because you'll be used. There are no if and or buts about it. A pregnant woman that's dating is desperate, which makes her dangerous, and she's just looking for a sucker to throw another man's responsibility on his shoulders. A single pregnant woman will not have any love or care for you. She's just looking out for herself and the survival of her unborn baby. Women like these are not dating or relationship material, so I'm cautioning you guys to leave these women alone. I know you'll be happy that she can't get pregnant because she's already pregnant, but come on, gents, do you honestly think you can take someone who is pregnant and still date seriously? And let's say you guys are having sex and you roar all up inside her wet vice grip. Where'd the cream warriors go? To the unborn kid or another man? WTF? So the kid is there chilling and trying to take a nap and then suddenly gets flooded by your seed. Is that healthy? I have so many questions because if you impregnate a woman and you're busting nuts, then it's ox since it's still your DNA. But a child from another man exposed to foreign DNA cannot be healthy for the kid. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a doctor. You know what? I'll check Google, give me a sec. So I checked Google and they said no, the seed won't reach the kid. Regardless, something about that doesn't sit right with me, knowing another man's seed is growing in her belly while I'm digging out her guts. I'll pass on that. I get it if it's for a fetish, you gotta do what you gotta do. I would probably partake in beating up some pregnant peace leaf. But to wife up a pregnant woman, I'd rather jump off a bridge if I have to do some goofy-ish like that. Count me out. Send her butt back to her baby daddy or husband if a pregnant woman tries to get with you. There's literally no win in that scenario, so pregnant women are a big no-no. There's no debate, no questions asked, instant block and delete if it's not for a casual fling or you're fulfilling a fantasy. The second red flag that all men must be aware of is mentally ill women. Many men love to play with fire and then blame women for filling up their lives, but when you look closely at the women these men choose, it's obvious why they get bent over in the judge's chamber or in the clink by dirty salami Rodney. Men, you guys have to hold on to L's when you mess with women on head meds or flat out crazy women. I'm not caping for none of you guys if that's what you're out here doing. Let me tell you a quick story of why I know some of you men are piping down crazy women. Where I live, I know a woman that got drugged out on the white lady and became mentally ill. I'm not talking about the acting crazy type. I mean the on the streets talking nonsense type, don't take showers type, crap and piss on the road type, lives in La La Land type. Basically, she is a woman who is checked out of reality, so we can say she's a mad woman. Tap the like button, guys, and get this video to 600 likes. I have a channel I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can be halfway monetized, so if you want to help a brother out, go over there and subscribe. I only need a couple more subs and I'll hit 1,000. I'll link it in the description box and pin it in the comments section. So this woman was fresh on the streets and she was gone when I first saw her. And with each passing time that I saw her, she looked worse and worse because, you know, those people are not going to be clean when crazy. And I clearly remember months after I saw the woman and she was pregnant. Now there's a possibility that one of the madmen did it. I'm not ruling that out. But come on, it must have been a regular dude that took it from her and knocked her up or paid her so he could get a piece of that stank box, literal stank, and he busted up in her walls. and she got pregnant. So I know from experience that men are sexing down crazy women that may not be that far gone, but take head meds. Now, what do you expect to happen if you choose to date a woman on head meds? Do you seriously believe these women won't bring the crazy to you? I have to ask because it's evident that those women don't make good partners, but it seems like other men who date them think otherwise. I don't need to go any further than that. If, in your vetting process, you discover she suffers from any mental illness or takes head meds, then abort the mission. Even if it's anxiety, run. At the very least, do not go into a relationship with a woman like that, and don't even think about pump and dumping either if you know what's good for you. I would have them in the subscription girlfriend category or avoid them at all costs. And the sad part is that more and more women are diagnosed or self-diagnosed as having mental health issues every day. So if you're looking for mentally stable women, you're effed. It's a sad state of the world, but it is what it is. Stay away from women with mental health issues if you don't want to deal with BS. The third red flag that all men must be aware of is dating single older women. I believe dating older women is a red flag with every fiber of my being. There's no other way to put it than you're getting a bad deal dating most of these women. Could it work out with some of them? Sure, just like how you can live to see another day. But just like how you'll live 99% of the time, all that takes is that 1% and you'll be dead. The same goes for dating older women. You could go the distance until one of you dies without cheating or BS. However, you're more likely to get effed over than have a good relationship dating an older woman, which is undeniable. And what are you getting dating an older XX because you know she must have destroyed her life and her peace leave to be old and single? It's not a coincidence that she has never been married or been divorced for her to be single at her worst, so what exactly are you looking to get that will be of value to your life? I have to ask these questions because a lot of it doesn't make logical sense to me when I see men wifing up older women. First, she'll get sick very easily and drain your pockets. The second thing is she can't give you a village unless you're going to become a step dummy. The third thing is she can't help you do much when you're old because she's old too. And the fourth thing is the only thing she had to bring to the table ain't prime steak like what it used to be. So what exactly are you getting? Now, if you change your mindset and pay some people to do the tasks that a woman would do, you'll realize quickly that these older XXs are useless. And if you want to bust a nut, hire a subscription girlfriend and live your damn life. Now is not the time to be taking on dead weight, gents. The fourth red flag that all men must be aware of is women who do drugs and abuse alcohol. Gents, mommy wine time is a red flag. Going to nightclubs, bars and parties to get drunk and suck off Chad's vanilla bar in the bathroom or parking lot is a red flag. Women who drink hardcore liquor on a regular basis are a red flag. Women who shoot up their arms, smoke out the weed and cigarettes, snort the white candy, and take recreational drugs are a huge red flag. Do not proceed. There's no debate, no argument, and no gray area. It's a no-go zone. I don't care how sexy she is. If she takes drugs or consumes alcohol, do not date her. You can mate with her all you want once you don't knock her up, but as it relates to a relationship, hell to the no. Again, you have been warned. If you still choose to proceed and get that's on you, brother. If you are new to the channel and want more hard-hitting RP content, then subscribe, tap the bell, and then tap all so that you can get all of our new videos. The fifth red flag that all men must be aware of is dating modern women. Alright, I'm just joking, relax, brothers. The fifth red flag is dating a woman that's a devil worshipper or a part of a cult. Unless you're into that kind of stuff, then have at it. Date them if you want to. However, if you're a regular guy or a religious person, it's definitely not a good idea to date any of these women. If you don't know about the sacrifices in these groups and the rituals, then you would have no idea how bad things can get, so stay away from these women. Do not try to smash them either. That's a raging red flag that should not be ignored. I don't know anyone or a group that I can say worships Lord Evil, but I have seen what happens when people join a cult. Trust me, it's not pretty. And many cults are synonymous with worshipping Lord Evil himself, so keep that in mind. But what more do I need to say than don't do it? You don't need a reason or an explanation. I know I've seen the result of a church that became a cult, and they sacrificed people, so that's all that needs to be said. It's not worth it to find out how deep the rabbit hole goes or if that cult does sacrifices. So if a woman you're with or trying to get says she worships Lord Evil or is a part of a cult, then run. The video on the screen is the 2 biggest red flags of modern women. Click it right now to learn 2 major red flags that must not be ignored.